My name is Michelle Darnell, and I'm running for state senate. I want to unite the working class with America's middle class.
The economy is turning around. Slowly, it's turning around. The numbers of foreclosures are actually declining.
We have a declaration under penalty of perjury that says that Recon Trust was acting in its capacity as agent when it issued the notice of default. Now on June 17, 2009...
Isn't that largely a self-serving kind of statement of opinion by the declarant?
I would agree that it's self-serving.
Yeah, that's a
The
good one.
homeowner fighters.
Indeed. That's good right there, guys.
I had opposing counsel tell me, we're not here today to negotiate. Oh, really? I thought that's the purpose of the statute. You know, we ended up suing on that one. And although 6 months later and thousands of dollars, but we ended up leveraging a pretty good deal for the homeowner. They get to keep their house, and all their arrears were wiped away for 2 years. Throughout the movie, they sort of talk about the symptoms of our problem right now, but we're really not addressing the causes of the problem. Really, the reason I'm running as a Republican is because I believe in the Republican principles. The tax, regulate, and spend policies of the Democratic Party just are not working. They're not doing anything to facilitate the sort of business environment that's going to bring us up out of our current situation. And generally speaking, these people that signed on the dotted line for these contracts, at the time they had adequate income. Most often they had a decent job, and they were looking towards their property would increase in value. Their salaries would increase. They had the expectation that if things ever got tight, that they'd be making more money, or their situation was going to improve versus decline. At the very worst, they had the fallback position of, well, we can access our equity or we can sell our properties. Well, what's happened because of the economic situation is those options are no longer available to them. They have a home now that is $150,000, $200,000 underwater. They've lost their job. They have, they really don't have any options. There's absolutely been a premeditated, manufactured implosion of our economy. I believe if you take people's wealth and their property from them, they are disempowered. And then you can pretty much implement whatever you want because they're dependent on
along with that, if you
systems.
control their medical care, you've got to...
Absolutely. I do not believe this is a Democrat, Republican issue, red, blue. I believe actually that that's sort of a decoy. It gets us fighting amongst each other, and we need to identify the real issue. And I believe the real issue is we don't have free enterprise now. We have a corporatocracy. Currently, I feel that most of our policy is based on big money interests. That's not to say I'm against business, but I'm sort of against policy that is engineered by businesses so far above regulation that they no longer breathe oxygen. I know about education. I've raised 4 children. I have one 21-year-old attending University of Washington right now, and my youngest is actually attending kindergarten. We're shifting the burden of funding, funding our education, funding our basic necessities entirely onto small business and individuals. And, I just don't think that's right. I would like to discuss the $15 an hour minimum wage because I think it illustrates very succinctly the difference between Republican policies and Democratic policies. It's a response to all of the issues that I've been previously talking about, including the devaluation of our dollar. But I think it's an improper response, because in the end, the business owners that I talk to, between Obamacare and a $15 an hour minimum wage, they're going to be closing doors. It would be great to make $15 an hour, but that's if you have a job. I think that what would be a better idea is if we can implement some policies that actually encourage business growth, and in turn the wages would organically increase as a consequence of natural economic factors.